talk about movies and let you know whether or not we love them or we riff them to shreds because...
we hold Hollywood to a higher standard.
Yes. I'm Chuck.
I'm Jeremy.
So, Jeremy, what movie are we talking about today?
We are talking about Thor Ragnarok. That's how we should do it. And today we're talking about Thor Ragnarok. That way we can just always just cut it in, you know?
Just keep the intro the
Just
same.
keep the intro the same. Then we just Last Jedi.
So, Jeremy, why don't you give us a recap of Thor Ragnarok?
Thor Ragnarok sees Thor, Odin's son, returning to Asgard to do things because he had just finished beating this guy with a giant skull throne mask thing. Satan. He's not Satan. He's Seker or something like that.
Looks like
Cesar.
He looks like Steppenwolf.
Somebody will look it up online and then comment what the name of the guy is.
No one comments on this stuff other than calling us old
But then
dicks.
they'll act like they just know it, you know?
It is, that is Odin. That was not Odin.
Anyways, so Thor, basically Thor's, spoilers. Thor's sister that he had no idea about returns from a realm that she was banished to conquer Earth a la Rita Repulsa style.
Conquer Earth or conquer Asgard?
She wants to conquer it all, baby.
Oh.
And so she starts with Asgard to destroy it. And she destroys Thor's hammer, Mjolnir.
Yep.
And then he gets stuck on a trash planet.
Yup. And then Planet Hulk doesn't really happen at all.
But it sort of happens.
But he looks like it happened, but it doesn't.
But Thor has to come back and reclaim his throne and save his people of Asgard from his villainous sister Hela, the goddess of death.
Yes. And Loki's in it too.
And Loki too.
So, Jeremy, what are your thoughts of Thor Ragnarok?
Well, it's been a couple weeks since I've seen it now.
Me
It's been
too.
Like 3 weeks, I think. Maybe.
Mine's been 2.
Maybe
it was
it's
right
been
before my
2.
daughter was born, so yeah, 2 weeks.
Maybe 2 weeks and when I saw it then too, because you saw it the weekend Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's approaching 3. This
Yeah.
Thursday will be 3 for me. I really enjoyed Thor Ragnarok. I thought it was very witty. It was pretty looking. It was a very 80s film.
Yup.
It was vibrant. It was colorful.
Had Jeff Goldblum.
I did have Jeff Goldblum in a great extended cameo, I guess. Not really a cameo, a small...
It was a...
supporting role.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was really great. I thought it was fun. It did seem a little disjointed, if I'm going to go ahead and start off the bat critiquing it.
Works for me.
Like when he ends up on the trash planet, it's like, okay, we're on the trash planet now. And this is what we're dealing with. But the plot of the whole movie was like, okay, I've got to stop Hela, my sister, from destroying Asgard. But now we're going to spend 45 to 60 minutes. The majority of the film isn't about him stopping his sister. It's about him getting off of Sakaar, the trash planet, and escaping it to be able to go and stop his sister.
Yeah.
So and then it really becomes Jeff Goldblum's sort of the villain with the people of Sakaar as the villain.
Yup.
More so than Hela.
Yup.
If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Yes.
I liked the movie. It was fun. It wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be. And I think that's because I did see it after the first few showing or the first couple days of it being released, and everyone built it up as this, it's so funny. It's so funny. And I was like, it has its moments, but I wasn't like laughing out loud the entire time I was watching it.
Right.
I was more appreciating, that's a little bit witty.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a tale of 2 different movies. It's Thor and Asgard stuff, as you were saying, and then Thor on Sakaar stuff. Yes. 2 different movies. And I like the Thor on Sakaar far more than I liked the Thor on Asgard. Thor and Asgard stuff. Thor and Hela story. Every time that they were on Sakaar and they would cut to, what is Hela doing now? I kind of was, I don't know if it was bored or annoyed, like, go back. Don't leave Sakaar. Go back. I'm having fun. I'm having fun with this, like, enhanced Hulk character. Like, as a character, he hasn't really done much throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe as far as character building. But here he's talking a lot. He's kind of witty in his own little 5-year-old vocabulary kind of way.
Yeah.
He's like a big 12-foot tall baby.
No,
that can kill you.
He was definitely a standout for me. Hulk was awesome because they finally got Hulk right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Hulk is in the comics. He talks. He's an intelligent person as opposed to just...
You weak.
Yeah, I mean, he's intelligent, and he's a character, and they finally got that right, and that was exciting. I was really happy about that. Let's see. There was a point
their fight. I like their fight. Thor and Hulk's battle.
Yes, no, it was great. Fun. It was a little short.
It was
very short, but it was still good. It was very good.
Yeah. And it really kind of showed you how Thor could hang, like, without the hammer, because he didn't have his hammer. That was destroyed earlier in the film. So, but he like throws like a vicious like a running uppercut.
Oh yeah,
and like knocks the Hulk like back and crashes into the.
That's one thing people forget is that Thor is a superhuman. I mean, he fought the Hulk in the first Avengers movie and held his own. And
but
that was
before.
Had
Mjolnir,
but if you watch it though, I mean, you watch that fight. It's him. He like gives him in a headlock and like they're punching.
Right.
And it's before he even calls the hammer.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. I mean, Thor can hold his own against the Hulk.
Yeah.
But Hulk is strongest there is, if you ask him. But anyways, I really enjoyed it. I did wish that there was, even though he was abundantly in it, Loki.
Yeah.
See, to me, I guess, throughout the movies, throughout the Thor trilogy, if you
I would even say, I know kind of think, but in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well, as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Every movie that Loki is in, I feel like it's the same. We're going to say the same thing here.
I don't think we are.
Oh, well,
I'm going a different way.
You go.
With the Thor,
you go.
With the Thor trilogy, to me, the best relationship in the entire movies are the relationship between Loki and Thor. It's the crux.
I was not going to say that.
It's the heart of those films. It really is. It's these two brothers.
Yeah.
Who, and in fact, I think I said this actually at right after the showing, was the elevator scene between them right before they did the get help thing.
Yeah.
When Loki was talking, well, I guess, we have nothing to do with each other now that, spoiler, father's dead. And he goes, and Thor says, actually, I was always quite fond of you. And it's just like he was, because Thor loves Loki as a brother, and Loki even loves Thor as a brother. And they're brothers.
Yep.
But Loki is mischievous. He is who he is.
The god of mischief.
Yeah. And so to me, it's just like, I wish that it would have been played up more, I guess.
Yeah. I was going to say that Loki is just, there hasn't been really, you got the closest arc that you can in this movie for Loki as a whole. Like, he finally does something noble at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
But he's still the god of mischief, and he still does the Loki trope now where he's like, yeah, I'm going to help you. And then turns on him.
Yeah.
Leaves him for dead type of deal.
Yeah, you can't help it.
It's like, that's where I got kind of tiresome.
I got
like,
you.
But which is kind of what you're saying. It's kind of tiresome to see them not do something more.
Right.
But then they kind of gave me that at the end when he finally does sort of turn into a hero for a minute.
Yes.
He teams up with Avengers B team.
Yeah.
But not really.
Yeah. I guess that's another critique I had, but that's funny. The movie's hilarious. The movie's really funny, and it's funny throughout. There are some jokes that land a little flat.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where my problem comes with it. It's like, is it too funny? And that's such a weird thing to say, but it's like, it's a comedy. It's great. It's fine. Yeah. But like, there are some cool moments or some really great emotional beats where they kind of sacrifice them to make a punchline.
Yeah.
And it's like, that didn't need a punchline. It could have been cool in and of itself, but they had to make it funny, Yeah. It's like, oh man, this is going to be a serious moment. It's like, serious. It's cool. We're learning something. And then, aha, It just, I don't know. And that got tiresome for me. That's why I'm actually curious about, I said this in the other, whichever order these are going to come out. But
this will come out after
Justice League?
Justice League.
Well, I said that in the Justice League one. It's like, I'm curious to see. I really, really enjoyed it. I think I gave it like an 8 or a 9. Probably an 8. Probably deserves an 8. But I'm curious to see how well it holds up on repeated viewings.
Yeah, like I said, it had its moments where I thought, oh, this is really funny. One of the biggest moments that got the biggest laugh out of me is probably the dumbest joke out of the entire film. It's incredible. Bruce Banner is there, and it's in the climax fight or whatever, and Thor's new girlfriend, the Valkyrie, is on the ship, and they kind of had this playful relationship where she's like, I know you from somewhere. He's like, I know you too, but I don't know what. Yeah. And she's like, who are you? And then he says, they're on a plane or whatever. He's like, I'm about to show you who I am. Jumps out of the plane, and you think he's going to turn to Incredible Hulk, and he just lands on the Rainbow Bridge in like a crumpled heap. And the music stops, all sound stops, you just hear a splat. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's really funny. I thought that was great.
The dog just kind of nuzzles him and be like,
I thought it was great. I was like, oh, this is hilarious. And there's some other really funny moments, but yeah, I didn't think it was. I think it was built up as more humorous than I found it. Maybe I was having a bad day that day. I don't know. Maybe I was nervous because my wife is going to give birth to my daughter any moment now, and I was like looking at my phone the whole time, like, am I getting a text message?
I've said it before. You know, a bad taco will affect whether or not you love or hate a movie. You know, I mean, that's anybody. You know.
Oh no, that's very true.
I mean, that's
if you drink too much Dr. Pepper, you get to climax, you're like, oh, this climax sucks. We should hurry up.
Sucks. I mean, seriously, no. I mean, that's the ultimate truth right there. If you're not comfortable.
Well, so I had to, for Thor, like, I toughed it out. I had it go bad. I toughed it out, though. I stayed, but when the movie ended, it had the first after credit scene, which I already forgot about. I don't even remember what it was. But then I was like, no, I got to go now. I can't wait for the second one. I knew there was a second one, but I went up to the theater worker, theater attendant, or whatever. Like, hey, is there a second after credit scene? He's like, yeah. I'm like, is it any good? He's like, yeah, not really. I was like, great. So I ran to the bathroom. That's all I needed to know.
What was the second one? You never saw it then, did you?
No, I have no idea what it is. I think he told me what it was, but I don't remember it.
You saw the one with Thanos' ship then?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one that harkens to the greater story.
Yeah, that's how it all ties in.
The last one was just is Jeff Goldblum ship landing in the middle of the junkyard of a car, and these rebels, those people who tried to eat Thor, surround him. And they're like, and he's all, being Jeff Goldblum. Oh yeah, good job, everybody! Successful revolution. I was obviously a key part in your revolution because you were overthrowing me, so good job. And then I guess, I don't know, they probably eat him or something.
I hope not. If they do a Thor 4, they gotta bring back Jeff Goldblum.
I don't think they're gonna do a Thor 4, but if they do, it should just be called Thor.
Or if they do a Hulk movie.
I'm laughing way too much at that joke in my head. That's dumb.
Well, that's because you loved. That's Thor Thursday or whatever, or Thursday. And everyone's kind of like, and then someone stole it from you, and you're like, hey, you stole my joke.
That was my joke.
I'm like, But no, it was still good. But like I said, it was a tale of two movies for me. I really, not that I didn't like the Asgard stuff, but when you put it in comparison to how much I enjoyed the stuff on Sakaar, it was almost like I didn't care for it that much. The climax was good. Like the end fight stuff, I liked. I liked how they tied it back to the beginning of the movie with Karl Urban's character, which I had no idea that was Karl Urban.
Yeah, it was shocking that he was just in it. It was like, hey, look, it's Karl Urban.
I was like, that guy looks so familiar, but who is that guy? And I love they tied it back to his M4s or whatever he had, the guns that he found on one of the battles or something like that. And everyone else is using like super Thor powers, and he's just shooting people with ammo. I love that stuff. And then I love how they bring back the good thing, though, I like that Thor realized, with the help of Idris Elba, that it's like Asgard is not the physical place that you're in, it's the people you are with. So he's willing to forego spoilers, which we've done some already. He brings back the devil guy from the beginning of the movie, the fiery skull person. That scene was pretty funny, though, when Thor's dangling on the chains or whatever, and he's like, I will destroy the world. And then he just slowly like spins it. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that
and
joke
come back around.
Okay, I saw that it was funny, but a part of me was just like,
I thought it was great, but then they did it like 3 or 4 times.
This is what the movie's going to be, isn't it? And thankfully, that joke didn't land for me.
I thought it was funny the first time. The second time, like, oh.
Now I will say though, actually, when right after the beginning of that movie, the first 7 whatever minutes before the title of it is probably some of the best. That's the best Thor we've seen. I mean, like with him fighting with the hammer and stuff. I was like, oh man, this is amazing.
It reminded me of, if you haven't seen it, there's that Kung Fury.
Yes, yeah,
on,
it did. It was
Netflix,
very much like that. Yeah,
because it was just a tracking a tracking shot, and it's just him like sort of working down the line like a video game.
Yeah,
like a classic video game. Yeah. That was really good.
And I really, Loki has been masquerading as Odin for, I don't know how long it's been, but I loved him masquerading as Odin. And then when Thor shows back up and sees the play, which we'll get back to, but he has one of my favorite lines of the entire movie was when he goes, "Father," and then Odin turns around, sees Thor, and he turns back around and goes, "Shit." I thought that was so funny. I laughed so hard at that.
No, but the play
was really fun.
Just because I noticed right away that Loki was Matt Damon. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. That's so great. And then I was like, whoever was playing Thor, I'm like, oh, he looks so familiar, but I don't know who that is.
Yeah. It was Luke's Hemsworth, his brother. The lesser Hemsworth.
The older yet lesser.
The older, lesser Hemsworth.
But I was like, oh, that's great too. And I think it was you that told me that. I was like, oh, that makes it even better. That's funny.
And then Sam Neill is Odin.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is great. Yeah. Oh, what a great little. That was someone just having fun writing it. And then Matt Damon shows up and he's playing Loki.
Yeah, Taika Waititi. He's really funny. He's really well done.
Yeah, I'm glad they gave someone else a chance.
Yeah,
because I mean, he's only done like New Zealand films, like What We Do in the Shadows and other stuff, Fly the Conchords and
What We Do in the Shadows. One of my that's probably my number one comedy of the last 10 years. Easy.
Oh, that's really good.
Easy.
And then along that same vein, I hope, and he did so he did a great job with this. Like he handled the material. You can tell he had his twist on it because he writes comedies for the most part, and it's witty. It's not stupid comedy, but it's clever yet stupid. It toes that line where it's like, that's kind of childish, but it's kind of smart too.
Right.
Like a lot of the stuff in What We Do in the Shadows is like that. It kind of toes that line. That's kind of stupid, but that's pretty witty right there. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. But I'm hoping David F. Sandberg kind of has similar success, and I'm hoping that Taika Waititi, like this really elevates him as to now, let's give him something else. Let's give him another big brand or something big to work with. But I'm hoping David F. Sandberg has that same level of success, although it's Warner Brothers, so good luck with Shazam.
I'm not holding my breath on Shazam ever seeing the light of day.
I think the whole universe is going to be dead. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Thor. So yeah, it was good. It was a tale of two movies. I like the Asgard stuff fine. It's good. It is what it is. But I really enjoyed the Sakaar stuff. I think it's just because Jeff Goldblum is awesome.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's great. I really enjoyed the Sakaar stuff. One of my favorite jokes also was when Thor got to Sakaar, and after he goes in there and he's in the room at the party seeing Jeff Goldblum for the first time, then he just looks over and just Loki's there, just mingling. He's just mingling with people, and it's just like, of course he would be. But then he says he's been there for weeks because time works different on Sakaar. Time is slower on Sakaar. So
I know I did catch that, but it didn't click.
Yeah, because he says, I've been here for weeks, even though he just arrived just a few seconds, maybe a few minutes before Thor. But the thing is, that puts in Hulk's situation in a different context.
He's been there for years.
Because he goes, Sakaar was 2 years ago. And he goes, 2 years? I've been Hulk for 2 years? Like, actually, you've probably been Hulk a lot longer.
Not Sakaar.
Sokovia. Yeah. What did I say? Sakaar? I meant Sokovia.
But he's on Sakaar.
He is on Sakaar.
So how many Sakaars equals a Sokovia? But no, I will admit I'm not the biggest on Thor lore. Like, I don't know him as a comic book character very well.
Lore, if we will.
Other than what's been in the movies, which he hasn't been that impressive in the movies. His banter with Iron Man, his little feud with Iron Man has been kind of funny sometimes.
Are you blaming Hemsworth for that, or more just the writing of it?
I don't know.
I gotcha.
I just think that
he's a hard character to write. I think.
Yeah, I mean he's I mean, he's popular. Like he's one of the founding members of the. I was gonna say Justice League. Whoops, the Avengers. But he's still like. Maybe he's the Avengers version of Martian Manhunter. You know, like you could not write Martian Manhunter, I don't think. Like they would struggle. I mean, well, Marvel or DC struggles with everything, but they would really struggle with Martian Manhunter.
Get rid of David Goyer, DC. That's
he did not. He was not a credited writer.
He was not credited on Justice League.
Now,
it was a step in the right direction.
That's true or not? Was he a ghost writer? Maybe that other writer that was there, that's his ghost.
I imagine everything that sucked in that movie was probably him. That's what it was. Because he sucks.
Yeah.
David Goyer sucks.
I wish I could go back to like the old video version where I just said sucks. Go across the screen.
Sucks.
So, Jeremy, this is a nice short and to the point review because it's been a couple weeks. We don't remember every little thing that happened in it. But
Thor threw his hammer.
He did.
He never got about Doctor Strange had the most kind of blatant and
forgot about Doctor Strange.
Pointless cameo ever.
Yeah. It's to tie him back. It's more to tie him. Well, because he was in the Thor was in the after credit scene of Doctor Strange.
It was the same scene.
Yeah. And you get a more extended version of it. But I was going to say something and I don't remember. Oh, well. Must have not been important. So,
Chuck, what would you score? Thor Ragnarok. As Omac would say, rock.
Hey, speaking of rocks, how about the rock guy in Thor Ragnarok?
Ooh, played by Taika Waititi.
I forgot his name again. Org? No.
Korg.
What was the dog's name in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Wasn't it Cork? Anyway, sorry.
I miss Cork. He was cool. Was he not? He was not in Honey, I Blew Up the Baby, though, was he? Or was he?
I don't think so.
I don't remember him in Honey, I Blew Up the Baby.
They moved to Las Vegas in it.
It was Las Vegas.
Yes,
was it Las Vegas?
Yes.
Are you sure they moved to Las Vegas?
Maybe they moved to
They were
Nevada.
close to Las
Maybe it was
Vegas.
Reno. The second smallest big city. Anyway, so Thor Ragnarok.
He ends up in Vegas. I never imagined those suburbs would be in Vegas, but I guess it probably is Vegas.
I'll give Thor Ragnarok. See, it's hard because I just watched Justice League and I don't want to put them on that, but they're both superhero movies. It's better than Justice League as far as a structure, like it's structurally more sound, but I had more fun in Justice League. But I can't let that draw back my rating post. So I will say I'll give it a 7.5.
Wow. Okay.
No, I'll give it a 7. I'm going to go with 7. We'll give the same exact score. Because it was good. But like I said, it was a tale of two movies. I like one more than the other, which made it inconsistent for me.
Well, see, the thing is,
so 7 out of 10.
I had a lot more fun with Thor when I saw it.
Yeah. I can honestly see that. I
had
don't
a blast.
disagree.
But thinking on it a little more, it's like, my score has gone down. But just because I'm wondering if it will, I'm seeing it again this week sometime.
Fun.
And so we'll see. But like I said, I think I'd give it probably an 8.
Maybe like when you left the theater on that Thursday night.
When I left the theater, I think I gave it, I think on Facebook.
That's what you said, 8 or 9, I think.
I think I said 9 is what I said on Facebook. Although that was because I had a lot of fun with the movie. If a movie is a lot of fun for me and I'm lost in it in the theater, then it's going to score high.
Well, that's the way I was. Not to go back to Justice League, that's the way I left with Justice League. I still left.
Absolutely.
Had a great time in Justice
League. And that's what movies are supposed to be. They're supposed to entertain us. And Thor is a very entertaining movie. Yeah. But probably, if I'm being fair, and my rating system is all over the place. It doesn't. It's not
no
consistent.
consistency either one of us.
It's inconsistent
because movies are just so different. It's hard to put. Like you said, one of the reviews, was it Blade Runner? I think we talked about it. Like you said, movies are just, you can't really compare two movies because they're two different things. Superhero movies you can kind of put in the same box.
But even then, they're meant to be different things. At least with Marvel, they try and do different genres for each one. I give it an 8. It's a solid 8.
I think this is like the first time you've ever rated a movie higher than I have.
I think so. It might be. History is being made right here on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it a full moon?
I don't know.
Is the world ending? Is it the apocalypse? It's apocalypse.
Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
So that is our love and riffit on Thor Ragnarok. I'm sorry, no. Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok.
So anyway, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and tune in next time as we talk about something. Maybe a TV show. We haven't done a TV show yet, and there's so many good TV shows.
We should do a TV show.
I'm watching Bad Robot as we speak.
Bad Robot.
That's
the sequel.
Mr. Robot. And then Punisher just came out this weekend. So
I'm working my way through it. I'm on episode 6.
So we should probably do a television show next time.
That'd be cool. I always do that.
Because we haven't done. We did watch Stranger Things, but we did never talk about it. I like Stranger Things. Jeremy, I guess, kind of did. Stranger Things season 2. Did you like it?
I did.
All right, you get 2 loverifics in one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we will talk to you later. TTYL.
TTYL
Radio.
Is that our new thing now?
Yes, I love it so much.